Hi, I'm Angie with National Indoor RV Centers. Today I'm here at our gorgeous dealership in Atlanta, Georgia, getting ready to go on a trip, and you all are going to come with me. Now this is going to be the second video of my four-part video series. So the first being packing, organizing, and weighing your coach in preparation for a trip. Second part will be traveling, hitting the road. That's what we'll go over today. The third video will be on setting up your coach once you reach your resort or park. And the fourth video will be on breaking down or getting ready to leave once you're ready to go to your next destination. So today I will give you tips and tricks, and I'll give you my checklist. Now this is going to be RVing by Angie. I know that there's a lot of seasoned RVers out there, and you may have some wonderful suggestions. So please feel free to email those into me at Angie@NIRVC.com. I love the RVing community. Everyone's so willing to help each other out and share that kind of information. So I really appreciate that. Feel free to do that. As with all my videos, I have no script. I'm normally just walking and talking. It'd be really nice if I had a guy with cue cards, but I don't. So for this video, I'm just gonna be driving and talking for the next 2 days and 2 nights. So I'm thrilled to have you along for the ride. For those of you that don't know this, our CEO full-time's in a coach. This beautiful coach that I have behind me here is the coach that he special ordered 4 months ago specifically for him. And I am the lucky gal that gets to drive this coach and deliver it to him in Louisiana at our next AIM rally. Now you're probably wondering what an AIM rally is. AIM is our all-inclusive motorhome club. So we do several events a year. You can go to aimclub.org to see where we're going in 2020. We would love to have you. I attend all of our rallies, so I'd love to meet you and spend that time with you. So let's get right to my checklist. Now I've got my checklist just like a pilot has his checklist that you'll see him walking around a plane before takeoff and making sure everything's just right. You want to make sure that you follow your checklist perfectly. It's amazing how if you skip one step, you'll end up making a very costly mistake, and you end up here back at NIRVC for the wrong reasons. We want you here for service, for storage, and just to say hi. I keep my checklist just inside the coach, but before I grab that, I wanted to go over retroband. You'll see this sticker here on the coach. So my CEO will not drive a coach without retroband. Retroband is basically your spare within your tire. So it's a huge safety feature, something you definitely need to go check out. You can go see my video on YouTube about that, but I don't want to drive a coach without it. You shouldn't drive a coach without it. Just something that really gives you peace of mind as you're going down the road. So here's my list. I've got my exterior checklist, which I'm going to do first, and then I'll go to the interior checklist. Number 1 is check engine oil level, and number 2 is check engine coolant level. So let's head back and do that. So go ahead and open your engine compartment door. Now we can check our engine oil and our coolant level. Now, those are 2 things, and there is also a third thing, the tire pressure. You want to check those 3 things while your engine is cold, so before you start it up, to get accurate readings. So I can see right here that my coolant is low. Now had I been driving and I needed to add coolant, this is where I would add it right here. This is your radiator cap, and it's hot. So if I needed to add coolant after I'd been driving the coach, I'd probably need to wait an hour or so to let that cool down before I decided to take that off. So I'll do that in a second. This is where we're going to check our engine oil. Pull that all the way out, quite a long dipstick. Now this is different than it is on my Toyota Sequoia, that I can go a long time without checking my oil, probably longer than I should go. On a diesel engine, you do burn oil, so it is definitely necessary to check this every time you leave for a trip. So it looks like our engine oil is good, it's full. So I'm just gonna put that back in here, and then I'll go grab some coolant, and we'll fill that up next. All right, you're gonna wanna push down and turn to get the cap off, and then I always travel with 2 funnels. So a short one here, because that'd be impossible to get that big funnel in up there. So a short one for my coolant, and then the longer one for my engine oil fill. So we're gonna watch that level. We're gonna fill it till it's full and then stop. So I'll just kind of watch that as I'm pouring. So you can watch that go up. The trick is to not get it all over you. There you go. And we're there. so we're all done. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe off that funnel because I want to keep it as clean as I can. It's going in my coach. And I usually just stick that paper towel right down in there, catch any extra coolant there, and I'll just stuff it in there until I can see it at the bottom. Lastly, I can be the queen of distractions. You want to make sure you finish the job and make sure you put that cap back on. And it snaps back into place. Now here's where I would typically check my tire pressure. Now I'm at National Indoor RV Centers. I just had my 223 point PDI done, and I know that they checked my tires for me, so I'll do that tomorrow morning when we're on the road so you can see exactly how I do that. Next thing I do is I want to make sure that I've unplugged and stowed my water hose, my 50 amp shore power cord, my stinky slinky. So those are all safely stowed, and then I'm just going to go around and I like to push on every baggage door. This is one of those things, it looks like you can visibly, you know, see that they're shut, but I like to put my hands on all of them. I think we probably all have experienced going down the road, having someone honking at us because we've got a bay door open. That could cause so much damage, accidents, and then just damage to your person's coach. So again, it's routine, routine, routine. Check this list and make sure you've checked off all the boxes. Safety, and just keep your coach safe as well. Here I want to check my awnings. Now the big awning, my Girard awnings, those aren't a problem. I can easily see that those are out, but the one that often gets forgotten is your door awning because it seems natural to have that there. So just make sure that's in. I also check visibly to see that my satellite dish is down. I also have a trick on the inside that I'm going to show you that it helps me check that as well. So I do a double check on that one. All right, so now we've taken care of everything outside. Let's take care of all of our goods on the inside. So obviously this is a brand new coach, so we don't have a lot to secure on our countertops. Obviously you'd want to do that, take anything off that's going to move. Now, one of the things that I like to tell my customers that I use all the time myself is I get this Flora Life Sure Stick. I just buy it off of Amazon. I get the white, and you get a huge roll for like $13. But that way, if you've got a coffee pot or if I've got some decorative items that I want to leave out on the countertops and not have to put them away every time we move, then I go ahead and you just take a little ball of it, 2 balls per item, put it on alternating corners, and then you just kind of squish it down and they will not move. You can use a coffee pot, picture frames, whatever it is, but that's something I really like. We do it at our coaches at National Indoor RV Centers too. So we stage them, I stick them down like that. That way we can take coaches on test drives and not have to move all of our pretty stuff. But right here, we really don't have to worry about that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and read down the list. Secure all unsecure items. So under the bed storage, I don't have anything down there. Under the sofa storage, we really don't have storage under the sofa because we've got a bed and then theater seating and behind the bedroom TV. The next thing I want to check, since I'm right here in the kitchen, let's do the refrigerator. This is a biggie. I can't tell you how many times I've had customers, or I've done it myself, where you forget to do this, door flies open and you're going to have food on your beautiful floor and it's a mess you don't want to clean up while your slides are in. It's a real pain. So you just go ahead and lock your refrigerator and your freezer. If you want to enjoy a nice quiet ride as you go down the road, you want to make sure that you empty the contents of your convection microwave oven before you go. So I usually put those items in the dishwasher, and then up here we've got the storage for our cooktop cover, and I'm going to put those racks in a glass plate up there, and that will keep it nice and quiet as we're going down the road. Right now, let's lock the dishwasher. Now everyone's gonna have a different dishwasher. On this one, I'm just gonna push the button here, and then I go ahead and lock it. So now that's locked. So you also wanna make sure that your pantry is tightly closed. Some pantries will have a lock on it. This one doesn't, but it has a nice secure close. Then you want to make sure that all your bedroom, closet doors are locked in the open position. So we're just going to push those, and you'll actually hear this lock into place. So that's locked in there. Then as we move into the bedroom, This TV cabinet, we just want to make sure that that's securely shut and locked into place. If you've got things underneath your bed that you need to store, you can check those. We don't have anything in there. And then we're going to go into the master bathroom here, and we're just going to, again, lock this door in the open position. In the bathrooms, you want to make sure that you empty the water in your toilets. That's so that as you're going down the road, you don't have that water sloshing around. In case you have to throw on the brakes hard, you don't have to come up here and mop up your floors. So just got a full water there. Since this is the bath and a half model, you want to make sure you do both toilets. Empty that, you're ready to go. And then we want to lock our shower door so that doesn't fly open. You know, I usually just check my cabinet doors, make sure they're all shut nice and tight. And then again, let's lock our closet door in the open position. So now it's time to retract our jacks and start the engine. Now I need my keys. I purposely do not have them at the dash because this is one of the tricks I wanted to tell you about. I mentioned it outside. I visibly have already checked to make sure my satellite dish is down, but one of the things, just that extra check that I do, is I keep the keys right on top of the satellite receiver box. So that way I'm going to check the box one more time to make sure that satellite is down. Can't tell you how many times we've had techs or NIRVC employees chasing after a coach because they're leaving the dealership with their satellite dish up. So this way, I grab my keys, check my box again, make sure that satellite's down. All right, so now we're ready to start the engine, retract our jacks, or vice versa, depending on the manufacturer of your coach. You may retract the jacks and then start the engine. Then we want to make sure that our airbags are fully inflated. So initially when I turn on the engine, I'm going to hear an audible alarm letting me know that I'm not at ride height. You want to make sure that you're at ride height before you depart. So now it's time to bring in my slides. I'm going to go inside to retract those slides, and then I'll come back outside just to double check that I've retracted them fully into the coach. So I'm going to go to my control panel here, and I want to bring in my slides. It's going to give me a warning. Again, that just gives you another opportunity to check, make sure that there's no obstacles in the way of bringing the slides in. Another thing you always want to check is your captain and co-captain chairs to make sure you've got the clearance there. You've rotated those chairs, scooted far enough forward that you're not going to hit them when you bring the slides in. I've done that, and I'm going to go ahead and bring in my slides. The next thing I like to do is plan my fueling stops. This is super important because fuel is the ultimate commodity. It costs the same across the country, but there's two reasons that it varies in price. Each state can tax differently, and each retailer has its own profit margin. So that's why it varies so much. I'm going to Henderson, Louisiana. So I'm going to pass through Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. So I want to find the cheapest gas along my journey so that I can save some money. Plus, I'm probably not going to stop always when I need gas. I may have half a tank, but I want to stop where it's the cheapest, and then so I can make it to the next location that has cheaper gas. So I'm going to show you how I do that. I do it on an app called Gas Buddy. So you're going to select your route. I want to go to Henderson, Louisiana. So select this route, you can see it on the map here. And then you just want to pinch it till you can see the whole route on your screen, because then it's going to give you the variable from least expensive to most expensive. So now I can hit list, and there's a 60-cent swing on the fuel. So if you look at that, this is a 150-gallon fuel tank. If I times that by 60, I'm going to save $90 with this app right here. Or I can take my 60 cents, divide that by 249, the lowest price, and I'm going to save 24% on my fuel. So that's huge. So a lot of times, like I said, I won't always fill up when when I'm empty. I may fill up when I'm halfway full, just so I can get the cheaper price on the gas. So naturally, I want to find out where the cheapest gas is. So I've listed it so that the cheapest gas will come to the top of the page, and there it is, $2.49. So I'm going to hit that. Oh wow, this is huge. This is great. It's actually in Henderson, Louisiana. So now I've got to figure out if I've got enough fuel to get me to Louisiana without refueling. So I've turned on the engine, and on this coach, it lets me know right here that I can go 880 miles before I'm empty. Now you never want to take a diesel coach to empty. You really don't even want to get less than a quarter of a tank, because at a quarter of a tank on any diesel coach, your generator is going to stop working. It doesn't matter what time of the year I'm going to be driving. I'm going to be using additional diesel fuel to either run the AC with my generator or run the furnace with my aqua hot. Either way, that's going to use extra diesel fuel. So I'm going to go ahead and take 40% off of the 880. That means I can drive 528 miles today. When I put that into my Gas Buddy app, that puts me in Hammonds, Louisiana. So now I'm going to see where the cheapest place is to fuel between here and Hammonds, Louisiana. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and put in Hammonds, Louisiana. I'm going to select my route. I'm going to pinch it so I can get all the full route on the screen here. Now I can hit my list button, and I can see that the cheapest fuel is going to be at the Murphy Express for $2.50, and that's in Mobile, Alabama. Now we know our destination, so I've gone ahead and put it in my GPS here on my screen because I can put that up on my dash. Now I know this is a little bit controversial and a lot of you love your GPS here. I like to use Google Maps because it gets updated 24/7. It's going to let me know if there's construction or a huge backup and reroute me. So I'll usually do both. I'll put it up here on my navigation system, and then I'll go ahead and put one AirPod in so that Google can talk to me and it doesn't disturb any of my passengers, so I can still have a conversation with my passenger, but I also can get direction in my ear, and then I've got both systems working. So that's typically how I like to travel. All right, so I've gone through my checklist, exterior and interior. We figured out our route, put it in our navigation system. I figured out my fueling stops. So all that's left is let's hit the road. One of the things I love about staying at National Indoor RV Centers is that all of our dealerships are gated. So that's really nice if I'm just stopping in overnight, or if I'm here for service and have to be here for a week. It just gives you an added sense of safety. Before we get too far down the road, I want to make a quick stop at a Walmart just to get all the, fiddles and goodies to travel. That's a great thing about being in a coach. You can kind of eat as you drive and you don't have to make as many stops. Also, I want to show you guys a great recipe that my family loves that I cook in the crock pot while we're going down the road. All right, so I made it safely to Walmart so we can get those extra food items that we need for our trip to make it a little bit more fun. Now you'll notice that I've kind of parked as far out as I can. Old habits die hard. Even though I'm not towing a vehicle this time, I always want to look for a parking space or area that I can pull through so that I don't have to back up at all. So this is why I love stopping at Walmart. Anything I forgot, I can pick up and I can get all my food and supplies just dropped a few $100s. And that's why Walmart loves RVers. All right, so I've pulled over to the side of the road. I've been driving for quite a while and I want to make a plan for where I'm going to stop tonight. So I like to use the Walmart app. It's called ONP Walmart, which is Overnight Parking Walmart. I'm going to go ahead and open that up, and I can see there's Walmarts that are red and then ones that are yellow. The red, it's iffy that they're going to let you stay overnight, or they may not let you stay at all. The yellow, they are overnight parking Walmart. So I'm going to hit that. So that's going to give me the address. It's in Valley, Alabama. It's going to give me directions. If I'm not sure, if I have any questions that I want to ask them, I can hit the call button, go to the website, and I can even check the weather. Now I can have it route me to my maps. So I can use Apple Maps, Google Maps, Waze, and then below is the information I really like. This is testimonials from people that have actually stayed at that Walmart and what they had to say, that it's a great place to stop. People were very friendly. place for you to walk your dogs. Another one said that the security card kept an eye on me, which is really nice. Normally when I'm at a Walmart parking lot, especially when I'm traveling by myself, it's great that the security guard will typically come over, knock on the door, just check on you, and then let you know that they're going to be circling throughout the night. So really nice to have that. So I'm just going to go back up here. I prefer Google Maps, so I'm going to click on that. It's going to redirect me to Google Maps. And I've got a 45-minute drive ahead of me. And let's get started. Well, I literally just jinxed myself. I was just saying to the videographer how great this trip was going. It's been so smooth. And now I've got an emissions alarm going off. So I'm going to pull over safely to the side of the road and see if I can get some help. I quickly pulled over to the side of the road so I wasn't using my phone while I was driving. I wanted to pull up my rest stop app. The alarm I'm getting isn't red, so my engine's not going to derate, so I feel like I've got time to try to get to a safe spot to get some help. So I can see that I've got a rest stop in 13, well basically 14 miles away. It's going to show me the address, and then it will route me to Apple Maps, Google Maps. I'm going to go ahead and hit Google Maps. I'm going to hit start.
Head southwest toward I-85 South.
And I'll be there in 14 miles.
Head south on Georgia.
Well, you know, as all good plans go, I didn't plan on getting an error code, and I didn't plan on the rest stop being closed. So now hopefully my third plan, which is call National Indoor RV Centers for help, will work. Now at National Indoor RV Centers, we always, once the switchboard is shut down for the day, the calls are routed to one of our technicians, whoever's turn it is to be on call for the evening. So I'm going to go ahead and call National Indoor RV Centers in Atlanta, where I just left from. It's also the closest dealership to where I am currently, and see if I can't get one of our technicians and get some help.
Good evening, Justin with National Indoor RV Centers. How can I help you?
Oh, Justin, it's Angie. So good to hear your voice.
Hi, Angie. How are you doing?
Good, good. I know that I've been on the road, saw you at the dealership yesterday, but I am pulled over at a hotel parking lot because I've got an emissions error coming up on my screen, and it's been orange. It wasn't red, so I knew I didn't have to pull over immediately, but just wanted to know what I needed to do to take care of it.
Okay. Well, let's see what we can figure out here. You said you are pulled over someplace safely?
I am.
Okay. So over on the left-hand side, you'll have a dial on the Spartan control module. If you rotate that around, you should, on the bottom left-hand side of your screen, see it changing, and you're looking for settings.
All right, so the status is active, SPN 111, FMI, 3 volt above norm, and then the description says it's engine coolant level.
So that's telling us that we have a low engine coolant fault or a engine coolant sensor malfunction. So at this point, we can go ahead and shut the coach off, and we're going to want to go around to the back. So right down below that, you should see where the sensor plugs in, and you want to verify that that sensor is plugged in.
Okay, it looks like the sensor has come unplugged. I've had some rough roads today.
You can plug it back in, and you'll see that the tab on the top will seat over the clip.
Okay. All right, plugged in. Is that it?
Well, once you do that, it's going to take a few 100 miles to be able to clear the code on its own.
Oh, Justin, what a relief. Thank you so much. Glad that I got you, and I appreciate your help.
All right, well, have a good evening.
Wow, I am so grateful for all the technicians at National Indoor RV Centers. I mean, it's just such great peace of mind to know that I can call and get help. It's wonderful. And we have locations in all 4 time zones, with more coming each year. So when you buy from National Indoor RV Centers, you'll know that you'll always be able to get a hold of someone to help you. I think that from my experience, there's basically 3 different scenarios or situations that you kind of get yourself into. First of all, you have the one like I had tonight, which is great, the quick fix. That happens a lot. A lot of times our customers will call and our technicians can walk them through an easy fix. They are really knowledgeable and they can help you with little things to fix it easily. The second is a workaround so that we can get me to my destination or finish my trip or get me to National Indoor RV Centers, but I can be on my way again. And then the third is not the most ideal, but that's your major breakdown or you're immobile. I mean, if I'm going to have a breakdown and not be able to move, look at this beautiful house that I have to be in while I wait for that mobile technician or for a tow truck. I can go in the back, make a sandwich, put on a movie, take a nap. I work really hard. I'm always going. So even if I'm on a road like this and that unfortunate thing happens to me, I can enjoy my home, basically. So that's a huge bonus and one of the reasons I love RVing. All right, I made it to the Walmart, no problem. Followed it right on my Google Maps. It was great. So I've parked, I've lowered my shades. I'm in a great spot. I feel safe. When I'm going on a trip, I can't wait to get to my destination. That's really, I really want to spend my time. I don't want to go through the hassle of trying to find a park along the way. I can just pull into a Walmart. I don't have to go check in. I don't have to go hook up. I don't have to go set up anything. I'm just gonna pull in like I have here tonight. I'm not even gonna take my slides out. I'm just gonna walk back to the bedroom there, get into bed. I'll get up in the morning, take a quick shower, and I'll be on my way again. So I wanna spend my time at my destination. So between the 24-hour video surveillance, the security guard, I'm going to turn out my lights, lock my doors, and sleep soundly tonight with no worries. So before I go to sleep, I'm gonna go ahead and prep my meal for tomorrow, which is super easy. I'm gonna do barbacoa pork. It's one of my family's favorites. So all you do is take your pork roast and you get a Ziploc bag. Use 1/4 cup of brown sugar, which I've already pre-measured. You can use your solo cups. You can check, but that first line's 5 ounces. Second line is 12 ounces. So you can figure that out according to your recipe, but I pre-measured that. Then I'm just going to throw the pork in there. And then 1 can of regular Coke. So you're going to let that marinate. You can do it overnight, which is what I'm going to do, or just like 2 hours during the day. All right, I'm going to seal this up. And then I just kind of want to mix my sugar around the meat. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the fridge. And now I'm off to bed. All right, good morning. Beautiful day here. I had a nice night's sleep at the Walmart, so I'm just gonna get my paper towels and gloves and go and check my engine oil and my coolant level. And I usually keep these gloves, it's a brand new coach, so I haven't had time, but I normally will have the techs mount this box right on the wall here, so I have a great place to keep my gloves. I use these for when I'm fueling so that I don't smell like diesel fuel and that my beautiful new coach doesn't smell like diesel fuel, and when I do any of the wet bag work here and when I check my oil levels as well. Again, you want to check both your coolant and your engine oil level when the coach is cold. So first thing in the morning, I'm looking at my globe here and it's full. I can see that my coolant is full, so that's great. And it looks good. I'm well above the line where it says to add. I check my tire pressure every morning before I leave, especially if you're traveling out west where there's dramatic change in temperature or altitude. You definitely want to check those. I see a lot of my customers that carry an air compressor. Not only is that adding to the weight of your coach, there's an expense, it takes up space, and you already have one on board. You have a massive air compressor in your diesel engine. So I'm going to show you how to use that. All you need is an air hose. So I've got my air hose right here, and I want to tell you 3 things about this that you need to know. First of all, you've got an airline quick connect. On every coach is going to be different. I know in Newmar's, it's up by the generator and back by the engine compartment. In this coach, it's right in here. And then you've got to get your hose, and you need these 2 attachments. This is going to connect to the quick connect line in your coach. And one of the things that you have to do anytime you're working with the air hose, you want to make sure you get a tight seal. To do that, you're going to need Teflon tape. So it's nice and tight, so I have a strong seal there, so no air is going to leak out there. The connection here that I'm going to put on the valve stem of the tire, I'm going to be able to lock that on and walk away. I don't have to sit there and hold it. The third thing I want you to do with this hose is measure from your quick connect to your furthest tire so that you've got plenty of length of hose. Then I would add another 6 feet because I don't want to be fighting the hose. We've all, tried to get the garden hose around something and it gets caught on the tire and you're pulling it. You want to have plenty of length with the hose. And then this hose is good up to 300 PSI. So you want to make sure you have a hardy enough hose. I know that this engine will go up to 130 PSI. Now, you're not going to be able to fill up your tires at a gas station because those are geared more towards automotive. You're going to get maybe 40, 45 PSI. So you're going to have to wait till you get to the nearest truck stop. And by then, your tire is going to be warmed up. You're not going to get an accurate reading. So you want to make sure you do this again when they're cold, have your own hose. You've got your big air compressor in the back. You can do this yourself. All right, let's go ahead and get this connected to our quick connect and to the stem valve of the tire, and then I'll go inside and show you how this is done. So the max PSI, or the max pressure I can get in the system, is 138. So as long as I keep that above what I want to fill the tire to, it's going to fill. If it goes below 96 or below whatever I'm trying to fill up, it's actually going to be bleeding air out of that tire. So it's a closed system. I want to keep it all going to the tire, so I will occasionally just press the brake. Pressing the brake engages the compressor. It keeps it working and keeps that pressure high. So I will occasionally keep pressing the brake so that I keep the compression high, filling the tire. I've got 120 in my front driver's tire, and in my passenger tire here I have 96. I didn't really have 96. I bled some air off so that I could show you how this works. So now I want to fill that 96 up back to 120. Another thing I want you to do when you're getting your compressor up is to go into high idle. I do this when I'm airing up my coach to make it go faster. So you're just going to turn on your cruise control and hit the set button, and you're going to see that compressor go up to 138 really quickly. For the purpose of this video, I told you that I took it to 96. Typically, you're never going to have to add more than 3 or 4 pounds of air. So it's very easy from 96 to 120 in about 5 minutes. So that's a whole lot faster than finding a truck stop, parking, getting connected, all that stuff. It's really easy. So this is going to save you time and money, and it's a lot more accurate. All right, so before we hit the road this morning, I'm going to go ahead and put the barbacoa pork into my Instapot. It's been marinating overnight, and I'm just going to pour all the contents into the Instapot. Now I'm going to add my seasonings. So we have a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 a teaspoon of pepper, 1/4 a teaspoon of chili powder, and 1/4 a teaspoon of garlic powder. I've already pre-measured all of these in this cup, so it's just easy, clean, quick. And I'm just gonna sprinkle that over the roast. I added a little extra salt. I love salt, so can't go wrong. Now you just add your water. The recipe originally called for 1/4 cup. That's when I was using a crock pot or slow cooker. With an Instapot, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and add a little bit of extra water because it does use more liquid. Put our lid on and then close it. Then you want to make sure that this is on sealed, not venting. Come over here and I'm just going to hit pressure cooker, 35 minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and just let it start. Now I'm going to take it and move it and put it into the sink so that I don't have to worry about if I have to hit the brakes quickly, it coming off the counter.
In 200 feet, turn left on Industrial Parkway, L158, and then turn left in 240 feet.
All right, here at the gas station, this is something I always do. A lot of times you're at a truck stop and the ground is covered with fuel and oil, and I don't want to truck that back into the coach, and I don't want the smell in my coach for a couple days of just the diesel fuel. So I keep booties right here, I'm just gonna sit down, strap those on, and then I'm not gonna take anything back into the coach with me. And then one more thing that I do is I grab my plastic gloves as well. I'm in a bit of a hurry today because of the little breakdown I had last night, kind of delayed things. So typically when I stop at a Murphy, which I knew I was gonna make this stop because the gas is so cheap here, I will go inside and I'll buy one of their prepaid gift cards. First of all, because I can load that as much as I want and it's not gonna stop at the tank, and I'm gonna save 3 cents per gallon. So that's pretty huge. On a full tank of fuel, that's gonna save me around $4.50 to $5. That's a 12 pack of Diet Coke or a big bag of M&Ms, something to keep me going while I'm on the road. So all these little tips save you money along the way. I could just stand here and hold it, but that's a lot of time. Typically what I do, especially when I'm in the South, I get a bucket of water and my microfiber mitt, and I wash off my front cap, get all the bugs off. There's a lot of bugs here that will actually, if you leave them on the front of your coach, are gonna eat through your diamond shield and your clear coat. So just good routine. When you fuel, wash off the front of your coach. When you get to your camp every night, wash off the front of the coach. I really like to travel this time of year because I can literally count the number of bugs on this coach with one hand. If it was summertime, this coach would be covered. Anyway, you might as well make good use of that time while you're fueling up because it can take a while. This is a great thing that you always want to do. Let's go see where we are with our fuel. Woohoo, I did it. No spillage. All right, so I'm done with all the dirty work. And now I can throw everything away. Smells good. Woo. Perfect. All right, so I want to check the pork. It's been cooking now and just sitting. Smells so good. So now I'm just going to take the meat out, set that there. I'm going to discard the liquid and then I'm going to add some new liquid to that. So I've just discarded the liquid from the pork. Now I'm going to remove the fat and just shred it because I'm going to add a sauce that I'm going to cook it in for another 15 minutes in the Instapot. So the sauce has the red enchilada sauce, the green chilies, and 3/4 cup of brown sugar and another Coke. So I've shredded all the pork. I'm just going to pour it back into the Instapot, and then I'm going to add our 3/4 cup of brown sugar, our diced green chilies, our red enchilada sauce. Are you getting hungry yet? I am. My stomach's growling. And last but not least, love that sound, 1 can of Coke. Now I'm going to put this in for another 15 minutes and I can eat whenever I'm ready to. So this is one of the things that I love about RVing. First of all, I don't have to stop for fast food. I can eat healthy, I can make it in my own kitchen, and I can make it as I'm traveling down the road. So I love this, a healthy meal. I wanted to show you this cooking portion of the video for a couple reasons. First of all, to show you how easy it is to do while you're traveling. But second of all, I want to do more videos along with my product videos on baking and cooking in your RV. So I'm a big baker. I love to make chocolate chip cookies. I love to do lots of baking items, but I need help on other recipes. So I know you all are great at cooking in your RVs and have some of your favorite recipes. Will you please share those with me? And I would love to feature them in one of my upcoming videos. So again, you can email me at Angie@NIRVC.com or feel free to give me a call, 469-277-1120. And put a picture along with your recipe in the email because I would love to feature you in the video when I use your recipe. All right, so we've arrived. We're here at the Cajun Palms Resort, ready to go and party with our AIM members. So stay tuned for part 3, setting up camp. I hope you've enjoyed this second video of our 4-part series, this one being on traveling. Now, if you want to get a copy of my checklist, or if you have something that you think I ought to add to my checklist, if you want to know about any of the apps I've used, or if you've got some helpful apps that you use, I would love to hear from you and share that with our viewers. So please contact me at Angie@NIRVC.com, or give me a call, 469-277-1120. I'd love to hear from you, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Have a great day.